Commodity TV, live here from the Mines and Money London 2022. Day number 3, and we have here a very special guest out of the uranium sector, Daniel Major, Daniel Major, the CEO of GoviEx Uranium.
That's
Daniel,
great.
how are you?
I'm very good. And
Welcome
nice to have you.
Welcome to London.
Thank you.
How's the show so far?
It's been really good. Really, really interesting. Uranium is, again, one of the places people want to talk to. So yeah, it's been a really useful show.
Good. So you are very active in the uranium space with projects in Africa. Can you give us an insight in your company and these very interesting projects?
Yeah, absolutely. We have the 3 projects. We're a development company. As you said, we're Africa only. The first one is the Madawela project, which is in Niger. We completed the bankable feasibility study for that in September. We're currently working on the debt financing for that one. We got the Mutanga project, which is down in Zambia, currently working on completing its feasibility study targeted for the end of next year. Then we have the Falea project in Mali, which is much more of an exploration play, earlier stage still, but also very interesting target.
What is the resource base? Because I know you have a very large resource base.
Yeah, we got about 260 million pounds, but we, in context to that, we turned the drill rigs off in 2013 and have done no exploration since. Okay. We have a lot of exploration upside. Doesn't
make sense once you have 200 million and get another 20, so...
That makes a difference.
So you already mentioned the feasibility study for Madawela. Can you give us some numbers out of this, please?
Yeah, it's 343 million pounds to build it. It'll take 2 years to construct. It will produce 2.6 million pounds per annum for 19 years. Its cash cost is 28.5 life of mine. It's a robust project. We have the government as a 20% shareholder as well. So now it's all about trying to secure the financing for it.
What's IRR?
IRR at 65 is 13.3 and the net present value is 140.
Okay, good. So feasibility study has been completed. Now we need financing, production decision. What are the next steps for this project?
So last year we appointed Endeavour Financial to do the debt advisory for us. Their background is particularly African mine finance. We've already put out the teasers to the lenders or potential lenders, a combination of export credit agencies, DFIs, commercial lenders. We'll complete that pooling process this year. Next year they'll go into the whole due diligence stage. We've got a pretty good response coming back on that. Once we have clarity that that's working, then my uranium offtake salesman will more aggressively approach the utilities. We talk to them all the time anyway, but we really said to them, look, we'll come back and properly negotiate once we can show you there is a path to financing here as well. So that will be then. And then the last piece will be the equity, which we'll do when we've got the offtake and the debt lined up. And that's likely to occur in the 4th quarter of next year.
Okay, then let's come to the second project, Mutanga in Zambia. What is the plan? I think it's 2 years behind Madawela, something like that. You're working on the feasibility study?
Yes.
So what's the resource base? No drilling at the moment because...
Well, what we've been doing,
so what are the next steps for this project?
Yeah, that one we actually started drilling on last year again, mainly because we acquired 2 projects and put them together. They were both previously pre-feasibility studies. We issued a PEA for those simply because one of the companies had added a substantial resource in inferred. So we've got 30 million pounds, of which 30 million pounds in one deposit. So the target for last year and the majority of this year has been infill drill to indicated. That's done, and we'll put out a resource statement for that early next year. We are currently in the process of getting all the information, starting the information gathering for the bankable. AMC Consulting in Zambia are updating our ESIA for us, taking it to an IFC standard to make sure that we're compliant for the banks. We'll start doing the metallurgical test work on that new deposit early in the new year with the Copperbelt University in Zambia. So just putting all the bits together, so by the end of next year, probably early into 2024, we'll have that bankable out. It'll probably take again another year to get it financed. So as Madawela starts construction, production, we'll be ready to start construction at Muntanga.
Nice pipeline, I would say.
Yeah, and that differentiates us a lot from our peers. A lot of my peers are just one project, and the other thing with a lot of them, they actually have quite short life projects. So we've got 19 years in Madaouela, we've got 11 already in Zambia, but we've got exploration potential between the deposits that have never drilled in the past. We have an exploration license with a couple of targets already on it to need to be drilling out. So there's a lot of upside here on exploration for these deposits.
So then let's come from the more southern part of Africa to the more western part, to
Yep.
Falea. It's in Mali.
Correct.
It's in Mali. What's going on there?
Yeah, that one is very much one exploration. It's got 30 million pounds of uranium. It comes with a copper-silver credit. We did quite a bit of work on that one this year to try and better understand its exploration potential to go forward. It is structural driven. It's an unconformity between the Birimian and the dolomite. There's a sandstone layer. And from the induced polarization work we had done, we thought we had a target below. That didn't work from the drilling, but what it has shown us is what's driving the IP is the copper that's in it. And now it's much clearer where people thought faults were. They're not. They have moved, and the IP is showing us exactly where it is. There's also a strong correlation between the copper and the uranium. So when you get the IP stand up and show you where the copper is, you know where to drill for the uranium. So based on the work that we've done this year, next year we can then start looking stronger at where we go forward to.
Okay. So a couple of days ago you closed the financing led by Sprott.
Correct.
Could you comment a little bit on this, please?
Yeah. We hadn't raised any money since January the previous year. So it's been a long haul to get through things like the feasibility study to where we are. We obviously, are in that stage of developing projects. We're getting toward the construction stage. We needed to top it up. So we came in for, as you say, for $7.5 US, 10 Canadian. It was just a top up of where we stood and needed to drive us into next year.
What's cash in the bank after this financing?
We had about $2 million in the bank when we did the fundraising, so that's kind of where we are.
So 10 to 12 million at the moment.
Yeah, exactly.
How does the shareholder structure look like then, and what's management holding?
Insiders hold, which include directors and everybody else, hold about 11%. Single largest corporate shareholder would be Denison Still at about 5%. We have a couple of large funds. So if you look at the ETFs, a couple of big uranium funds and uranium-focused funds like MMCap, they're holding about 40%. Then the rest is retail.
Okay. So what would you say would be the next important milestones in the next 12 months for the company?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're in that long haul stage now. It's not like knocking out drill holes occasionally to keep the market interested. The next stage on Muntanga is going to be that resource update, and then we'll gradually go through the technical stages. In Madawela, very much more about giving updates on where we are with the debt. If we do want to get anything we want to release on offtake, we'll do that, but it'll be more about the financing and where that goes, with a target, as I said, by the end of the year on both of those to finish its feasibility study in Muntanga, and on Madawela to have its financing in place.
Sounds great to me, Daniel. So all the best for the next year. And
it's going to be a busy year.
Keep all fingers crossed that everything would go fine.
Yeah, absolutely. I know it's going, we didn't discuss the market, but I mean, it's looking great. So it's giving a lot of momentum for us to keep driving these projects forward. So, but thank you for the invite here as well.
Thank you for your time. So that was Commodity TV with Daniel Major, the CEO of GoviEx Uranium. I would say check out this uranium elephant, I would call it. And bye-bye from London.